Hello and welcome. I am Rajan Kumar, and today we are going to discuss budget. And in the budget, we will discuss its financial announcements regarding the banking sector. The union budget has been announced, and in that there is announcement about the recapitalization of the public sector bank and the setup of a new bank, which will be known as Bad Bank. And in budget, nowhere Bad Bank has been mentioned, but asset reconstruction company to weed out the toxic assets from the banks. And it shows that the government is committed for a strong financial system. Before we go into the details, let's have an insight about the announcements in the budget. The government has announced that they are going to increase the FDI limit in the insurance sector up to 74%. Government is going to establish development financial institution to finance development infrastructure projects. Then they have announced that they are going to set up this asset reconstruction company, and there will be disinvestment of the two public sector banks and an insurance company in this financial year, in addition to the disinvestment in IDBI. Setup of Bad Bank means last 3 to 4 years it was in discussion, and it is tested in the foreign, means in advanced economy it has already been tested like USA and Germany. And if it is a right time to establish this Bad Bank, as the bad bad debts are as the NPAs are piling up, and as per the financial reports, financial stability report of Reserve Bank of India, up to September 2021, and this NPA of scheduled commercial bank may be as high as 13.5%, and of that public sector banks will be about 15 to 16%. So in this scenario, the setup of this Bad Bank is going to be very beneficial, as there will be need of the capital. Means if this NPA will be in the commercial banks, there will be a stress on the balance sheet, and if it will be transferred from scheduled commercial bank to Bad Bank, the banks can meet the regulatory requirement of the regulatory requirement pertaining to their funds. And apart from that, we need to go further. We need a pace in the credit. 2007, 8 and 9 there were credit growth was at above 20%, and at present it is 2 to 3%. So since the banks, scheduled commercial banks, are not expertise in recovery, setting up such an specialized agency for recovery is a welcome step. And as we know that Bad Bank is not a panacea of NPA, but it is just we are transferring from one bank to the another bank. We have to look at its structure. What will be its structure? What will be the cutoff limit of transferring the loan from NPA loan from this scheduled commercial bank to Bad Bank, and what is the pricing, etc., and how it works. Then the government has announced the recapitalization of the public sector banks. As we know that this NPA is piling up and the asset quality is deteriorating, which is a major concern. Provisioning is increasing. So to meet the regulatory requirements, there is need of fund, and for that this recapitalization was essential, and the government has announced 20,000 crores for this. So we are hopeful that this fund means after getting this fund, the banks will be in a better position, and they would be able to lend and there will be boost in economy. Apart from that, the government has announced development financial institution. In the recent year, you have seen that the infra projects were financed by the public sector banks, financed by the scheduled commercial banks. And since the scheduled commercial bank doesn't have expertise in financing infra projects, and even the infra projects are of long duration, so a specialized agency financing for infra projects will be uh, is a welcome step, and it is the need of the hour, as now we have to focus into infrastructure projects, and our focus has shifted, and it will around 4 to 5 years. In coming 4 to 5 years, our focus will be infrastructure project. Then one more bold decision has been taken by the government, that government is going to privatize the public sector banks. Recently, we have seen that merger was going on, and the banks have been merged from 19 to 4. 19 earlier, 18 to 19 public sector banks were there. Now it has been merged, and as we have seen that after the consolidation of these banks, now the government is going for the privatization. In 1969 and 1990s, we have seen that the private banks were nationalized. Now the government is thinking that the social responsibility of banking has been achieved, and we should go ahead. And in this scenario, the government is going to privatize the bank. And as the advocates of the privatization in banking say that it will increase the efficiency, so the government is of the same motto, that there will be effective utilization of the resources, and the banks will be more professionalized. And the government is also thinking that to boost the economy, now the time has come that we must go for a professionalized banking, and must reduce its stake. So one should also welcome this privatization in the banking, and in the means after this March, anytime big news may come about the privatization of the public sector bank. The government has not yet announced. It might be consulting Reserve Bank of India and other stakeholders, and we hope that whatever the decision comes, it will be welcome, and it will change the banking scenario of the Indian economy. Thank you, and if any updates come, we will come back. Thank you.